all the time.
So we are underway here. And what are we going to find in the sanctuary today? We find a moon pearl. Wow, that's a good start.
Oh yeah, the big moon pearl. That's not so handy to have right now, but at least we don't have to look for that.
Yeah, that's an item that you really don't want to have to run around looking for too long, because if you go to a bunch of places you don't find that. It's like, I can't progress to the Dark World, but at the same time it means that having it right away means that they have everything open up to them a lot sooner, and it means that maybe their progression is already in the Dark World for all they know.
Oh, very well possible. Meanwhile, actually, we got a map check here from Gem. We had a green pennant in Hera and 2 normal crystals in Eastern and Desert.
Very nice, very nice. So we are getting our look at the Lumberjack Ledge here. Looks like the crab drops magic today, by the way. I didn't catch that. I'm going to look at the replay.
That was a piece of heart.
Piece of heart, okay. I see it now, yes.
So there's that. No Aga for the Lumberjack. That's a
now
good thing.
That does not mean Aga is not required. For all we know, the progression could be on the pyramid, which they can't get to without the hammer or the hook shot, or I should say the flippers, not the hook shot. So there could still be progression. And that is an ice rod.
Yeah, the ice rod. And now we're gonna have third rock pendant for sure.
That's what to do when you're wandering around lost in the woods. You crack open a cold one. We have 20 rupees in the bottom of the drop-down spot, and both runners saving and quitting, not just walking down to Kakariko, but save and quit instead. And Link's house has a power glove.
Very nice to have. Yeah, I see both of them going down, farming some bombs. But actually, Gem going down to the South Shore already.
It's worth noting as well, this is also part of our Dark World puzzle. We're looking for either a Titan's Mitt or the hammer, and we're already in the Dark World.
Oh yeah, that could be a very early Dark World access here.
So if the Titan's Mitt were to be right here, for example, which it isn't, it's the Quake Medallion, then that would have been Dark World access right there.
Yeah, and Eri got a very lucky 3 bombs here from under the Haunted Grove. Making that Kakariko nice and easy. And there are silvers at the racing game.
That's a nice find. At this point in the sea, that is worth picking up, because that'll save a lot of time on bosses like... Actually, no, it won't, because it's hard mode. The silver arrows only work on Ganon. Never mind what I just said. That's what we have to remember, that we are playing on a hard mode, so there are some differences in how some of the things work. Did you want to go over some of those differences, by the way?
Yeah, like there are, I think, max of 14 hearts here. Like half of the heart containers and 20 heart pieces. Then, of course, you only have the silvers for Ganon himself. You cannot use them before entering the Ganon's room. You have Tempered Sword at max, Blue Mail at max, no half magic, and potions give like half your magic refilled and up to maximum of 7 hearts. That's like the main differences here.
We'll still be able to identify where the red mail and gold sword are located based on the fact that we'll find it 20 rupees with the number 20 on it as well. Now, if they're both items are outstanding, we may not know which is which, but we'll have a general idea where they would have been if we come across those at some point. So, with that said, we did see Gem farming some rupees earlier. It looks like he's thinking of some future spending here. Eriror is now checking the chicken hut in Kakariko. He's doing the backwards trip to Kakariko. I missed what was in the tavern, but we're going to see what's in the chicken hut right now. And that contains the full heart container. That is the only, I believe that's the only full heart in the pool, or am I thinking of expert mode?
You are thinking of expert mode. You have like 6 heart containers in hard mode.
Okay, I'm thinking of expert mode. My mistake.
Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
At all. Actually, that makes sense. That would be 9 hearts in expert mode. Okay.
Yep. Now down into the well for Eri.
Well, we found 20 rupees in the first chest. That was a red rupee, so that was a regular 20 rupees. And let's see what's on this side. We have, our single green rupee. Flippers! And some blueberries.
I mean, there's a chance you can fake flipper and all, but having the flippers makes it so much easier. And you can actually get the Zora item on the Zora ledge here.
Now that also spells a harbinger of being scared, because we have the possibility of Swamp Palace now coming into play as soon as they have a mirror and the hammer especially. But the hammer could, of course, be in that first chest of Swamp Palace too.
Oh, I never had that, and I hope I will never have that.
Oh, I've seen it on commentary once. It was glorious.
Oh no, please never. Never ever. But actually, Kakariko itself looks, except for the flippers, very much empty.
Yeah, there was nothing in Blindside at all. That was not a very fortuitous visit. Bottle Vendor only has 10 arrows as well, so he doesn't help at all. Just the flippers, like you said. That was a very, very empty Kakariko compared to many that I've seen.
Oh yeah, now we are going to the back of Escape here for Eriror. Hoping for 3 very good items here.
I'm normally a fan of the Eastern Palace play at this point, because there's at least 6 items over there, I believe, if I'm doing the math right. And we can also get... Go ahead.
No, I was just saying you're right with that.
Yeah. So 6 items is a lot of items to look at there. I'm sure the runners are also looking at Tower Hera and noticing it's a green pendant and thinking, I want to get my mirror and do that before doing Eastern Palace.
Ooh, there's a flute.
That was the flute. Nice.
Now back to Kakariko. That makes navigating the light world so much easier.
It does, it does. And I was just making a comment about getting the mirror doing Tower Hera before doing Eastern Palace. They're also possibly thinking about waiting for the bow. In fact, I think we saw Ryra doing that in the first race of the Grand Final, the first matchup of the Grand Final. And in that race, he avoided that area until he had the bow and didn't want to go over there until I had the bow. But at one point, he ran out of places to look and decided he had to go over there. But he was trying to put it off. The runners will try to put that off until they get the bow and the hammer, especially for Palace of Darkness. Eriror activating the flute. We will momentarily hear that on Gem's side when he gets his flute for the back of Escape. But that means that Swag Duck Air is now open for business. Call 555 Duck to book your flights. No, it only works in high roll. Please do not call.
Oh, very nice. So, what will Eri do next? I think he might go up to Eastern.
At this point, nope.
Sure.
Knowing that he has in the past tried to avoid it, I think he's going to do this entire South Shore check to make sure the bow isn't down here. But he may have no choice. He may find that he's compelled to Eastern because we don't have access to anything else yet. So he may have no choice.
Yeah, we only have one logical check on Death Mountain here at the moment.
Yeah, with the flute, we can do that, absolutely. And if they want to, they could do the old man from backwards as well, but that is a sequence break. It's not a logical progression at this point.
Yep. So
neither runner... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Neither runner to use that key to do Dark Cross, so Dark Cross is going to stay waiting.
Yeah, navigating in the Dark Cross without any help, like without a sword, is very, very difficult.
Indeed. That's why the game gives you the lamp vanilla to get through that.
Oh, Eri.
Oh, Ryra taking the death.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Sometimes those mini mold arms bite.
Oh, they bite hard. And if they kick you into the bottomless pit there, it's hitting even harder. Okay, he's saying nope and going up to the front of Escape, or at least up to the uncle.
I was trying to give chat their flute music there. So everyone could do their 07s in chat then at that point. So yeah, Gem has now unlocked his Swag Duck. The duck is a muck, as some people say.
And with that, he's going to Eastern Palace now.
Yeah, I like this play at this point because to me, this is where I think the logic since there's no logic yet, I think this is where you might have to go to get some logic. There is, of course, Mini Moldorm Cave, but Eriror just proved that that's difficult to do. However, it is possible that, again, Mini Moldorm could be our progression. They might have to do that with just bombs in order to get the progression. We don't know yet.
Oh, nice bomb drop here.
Ooh! Tree pull is 8 bombs.
And we are going to see a bomb escape here from Eri.
That is a cape.
No, that's very much a cape.
That is a magically imbued velvety red piece of clothing.
Oh yeah, and actually it's our first part for Aga 1 access, by the way.
It is. It also gives access to Bumper Cave if there's something useful there. And I think in the first race we had something at Bumper Cave. I think it was, I'm trying to remember what it was, I forget, but it doesn't matter at this point. But there was progression at Bumper Cave in that first race that these two had.
Yeah, there was something I can't remember either.
It was a nasty seed too, I remember that.
Oh yeah, both of them took like around 2 hours. So
close to 2 hours, yeah. I think it was 1:58 was the winning time.
Yeah, and Gem came up with 2 hour and 1 or something. That was a very nasty one.
Indeed. So Eriror dropping a bomb, the guard completely ignoring him and gives up a heart. And the 2-bomb trick. It's so nice to see this done well, but unfortunately the guard manages to avoid it this time, and Eriror takes a slight amount of damage from that bomb. So moving on.
Now Gem up to Mini Moldorm Cave here.
Will he be able to do this?
Oh yeah.
Eriror had a little bit of issues here, but Gem pulling out that ice rod and getting the shots off, he is going to proceed.
Yeah,
and find with his 5 items. He's going to find the boomerang that Eriror didn't pick up. He's going to find a piece of heart, some money I saw in the other chest. There is our lamp. That's part of our Aga puzzle.
Yeah, a sword to do Aga 1 now.
The Aga puzzle is one you do not want to complete before you have access to the Dark World.
Oh, absolutely not.
And imagine a scenario like having the Titan's Mitt locked on Pyramid, for example. That you might be able to get some Dark World access, but ugh.
I had that so many times. I also had like just a glove up there and nothing else, and had to fight my way through Palace of Darkness and some stuff. And there's a fire rod for the mushroom.
Now we got the hot one. And there's Arcana Samaria.
Oh.
Progression everywhere now after a slow start.
And Eri back to Mini Moldorm Cave now. Second attempt.
Are you ready for round 2?
Oh, he is. Yeah, taking the save now, going right first.
I could say who gets that reference, by the way.
Oh, no, I can't. I have no idea what that reference was, so. But yeah, that was a very much better Mini Moldorm from Eri there.
Very much. He's got his items, he's clear there, and heading over to Ice Rod Cave. Or maybe not, he's going backwards. I thought, oh, he's going to get the duck. He's taking the duck path.
Yeah, a little bit faster there.
It is indeed. Actually, with the flute, you can do that anytime. Even if you didn't want to do it now, if you want to follow a logical progression, you just come back and do it any time, like when you go to Ice Palace, for example. But he wants to get out of the way now, and I would too, just in case there's something up here.
Which we know there isn't, just a big 50. But he might do Zora after that with that 50 rupees.
Yeah, that would open up King Zora, absolutely. Possible.
And just a pair of blueberries there on Spec Rock. The mushroom, I believe, was in Escape. Oof.
Inside Spec Rock isn't anything worthwhile. Some cash is above the pose. Okay, so that's one mirror check out of the way today.
Oh, that's a nasty location, especially if you had done your boot check up there.
It's nice that that's one of our hint tiles too, because that means that now we know we don't have to go there. That also means that if there were one of the ways you can route that in is you can do it on the way from Village of Outcast going over to Catfish down to the pyramid or something like that if you have the access to do it. Gem is trying to do a Houlihan play. Look at this.
Oh yeah,
He's doing a Houlihan move.
Getting his Zora money. Meanwhile, Eri found his first sword in a waterfall ferry.
And Gem is getting every last root. Okay, he left one behind.
Good move.
Leave $5 for the champion to dwell on.
Yep, and there's our second heart container on the Zora ledge. Let's see if Eri will pick that up, actually. Because at this point, it might be good.
I would, yeah. I have the flippers. I only have 4 hearts. I would pick it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I would too. And another blueberries from Zora.
No, Zora, we already had our breakfast.
And yeah, as expected, he picks up the heart container. I can absolutely understand that.
Yeah, no complaint at all from me on that play. That is definitely a play I would make too.
So I see him doing Eastern Palace now before heading to Aga.
Actually, I don't think he can. Oh no, he can get in. Yeah, he can get in with the cape. But he doesn't pick up the cape yet.
Oh right, oh well, he will get that if he goes to Sasha.
Yeah, if he goes to Sasha, he has to make the play at Eastern Palace. You're right. So there's nowhere else for him to go at this point. He's gonna do the Death Mountain play first, of course.
But the question is, will he dip Eastern Palace and try to avoid Aga?
He can't go to Aga.
Oh, he can if he picks up that.
Not until he goes to Sasha. It's gonna be a question at that point. Will he keep going? He's
No,
already there. He might as well check the chest at that point. And then after that, if there's no progression, we know it's Agahnim.
Yeah, I mean, if he will dip into Eastern as soon as he picks up the cape.
He'll do that before Agahnim. I would say 90% of the chance you're gonna clear out every chest you can before you do Agahnim. Those who make the Agahnim gamble and it pays off is basically they're the ones that get burned at the stake afterwards. The witches that get burned at the stake because they made a great call at that point. But most of the time, that call is not going to work out. You have a low percentage chance of the Agahnim play working out. So not a lot of runners are going to do that, and it's going to be those cases where you have a weaker runner against a stronger runner, where someone's going to make that gamble, it pays off, and they can pull off a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Myself, I'm not such a good runner, and I would check every single chest before going to Aga.
Yeah. We're being asked in chat, by the way, where the mushroom was. Did you see where the mushroom was?
I think it was here in Escape, where Gem is sitting.
Okay.
There's an Agahnim, Agina check, sorry.
Yep, Agina.
I get those two confused up.
Those names are very close. Those names are very close. It's, I sometimes do some mouth jargon around that myself.
Maybe they're brothers, who knows?
I don't know. There's that mushroom, yep.
There is it. And Agina, just 20 rupees here.
Still the Hermit's money. Now you can do this guard sequence without making the guards aware of your presence. If you get behind this one guard, you can sneak behind both of them and no one's aware that you're there.
Yeah. But actually, noticing Eri has a slight problem. If he does Aga, he won't have money for Palace of Darkness if he decides to do that.
That is a potential problem. He is finding the piece of heart that's sitting on the island right now. That is not likely to get picked up today unless we are in really dire need. He's going to go do Hobo right now. He is trying to get as many checks as he can. He wants to avoid that Palace of Darkness area, but this turns out to be a good play because we know there is a King of Samaria on the Hobo team.
Mm-hmm. Jam preparing the Death Warp to go check out Darkross.
And there's the Death Warp.
Why actually do those guards turn gold? I actually have no idea, chat. I have no idea.
Sorry, say that again?
One of the guards turned gold, so why does that happen?
Yeah, I saw that too, and I don't know what that was either. First time I think I've actually seen it.
A pallet bug is what Kato says, so...
Yeah. That was on the starting screen. I'm not sure what caused that.
I had that so many
So we're finally making the play to the Eastern Palace area. Now the question is, will he continue into Eastern Palace? I would, because again, there's some items in there, and we don't have anything else to progress on in terms of chests. So gambling Aga from here would be quite a play.
Yeah, I would totally go into Eastern.
Gem is heading back up the mountain.
Yeah, just to float away, making it a little bit faster. And Eri not going to check out.
Wow! Oh, if the progression is the Eastern Palace, this could be a bad play.
Yeah, that's a call. That's a big call there.
That is a gamble. This could be the race right here if Gem goes back to Eastern Palace, one way or the other. Eriror really wants to avoid Eastern Palace as long as he can. He's thinking the progression is in Palace of Darkness, and he's hoping he finds, in a best case scenario, actually he's doing Dark Cross. Take that back. We're talking about him doing Agahnim. He's doing Dark Cross with the Lantern.
Oh yeah, I forgot he didn't do that.
Gem didn't either. So we don't even know what's there yet. Oh, he did? I didn't see what was there.
It was a piece of art.
Ah, okay.
So Gem actually might go for Agahnim.
Both runners avoiding Eastern Palace. If that is the progression, anyone who would have done that would win the race. This is a gamble.
And there is... yep.
There's the play. Gem is going to be first inside Aghanim's tower today.
Yeah, and Eri taking that Death Warp and doing that as well.
We will have to keep an eye on Eastern Palace later and see if that is where the play would have been. Eriror is Death Warping. That means he's going to do Aghanim as well. Neither runner wanting to check out Eastern Palace. Those chests remain unopened.
Oh, if that's the hammer or the
if that is the hammer or the Titan's Myth, that is going to be bad for both runners.
Well, at least they are both doing it, so
exactly.
none of them will have a advantage of that.
In that case, it'll be a case of who gets to it first. And Eriror having problems with magic, he needs some magic to get inside. That's not going to go well for him. He'd be well off finding a bush crab right now. It's dropping some magic.
Nah, he's going for the 2 drops here at the uncle.
He knows there's one inside the back of escape here. This is going to cost him some time. This is another reason why I would have done the Eastern play in his case. He can't get into Aghanim's tower.
Oh yeah, that's hard. That's very hard.
But now he can. And Gem taking a punch from the guard, so that's going to give Eriror back a little bit of that time he lost. He finds the next tiers where he pulled his blue rupees. And Eriror heading back into the Uncle drop down. I don't think those don't regenerate without a reset, do they? Oh, they do. Okay.
They do, yeah. Well, I guess he's farming some magic to get the Fire Rod in there to kill some of the guards.
Well, the more time he spends farming magic, the worse off it's going to be for him, because Gem is ahead of him in Aghanim's tower right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Gem doesn't have any magic for the Fire Rod.
Here's where he's going to start having an issue here with no magic.
Yeah, and down to a
He's going to take a death. He could take a death right now. Oh, don't die, Gem. This would be bad.
That would bring Eri back very hard.
Right away, yeah. It'd be pretty much tied if he were to die right now.
Ooh!
Oh!
Lucky that wasn't his death there.
That was death all over it. My goodness. if anything touches him, he is down.
Oh yeah.
And he still has to hope that there's no blue balls on Agahnim and he gets hit by one of them. That would cost him almost 5 minutes of time right there. So get your blue ball guesses in chat. How many blue balls is Agahnim going to throw today? Let's get that game going right now. I'm going to say 3. What do you say, Wolfie?
Oh, I'm a fan of 4. Like, almost every time I get 4 blue balls, it's... eh.
Well, 3 does have a higher likelihood, but we'll see what happens here.
Oh yeah.
What's going to happen here, we will see a guaranteed shot that you can reflect back at Agahnim. He's going to then fire 3, and this is where they're going to be 50-50, and these can be either a blue ball like that, or another orb that you can fire back. So those are the 2 types of shots Agahnim has, and it was nice for him to demonstrate on the second attack to show us so we could explain it more easily. So now that was the second shot back at Gem. Meanwhile, we have 1 blue ball. Now, after 4 shots, he does a lightning crescendo. This will happen on every 5th cycle. So after every 4 shots, then the first shot after is guaranteed to be an orb you can hit back. So that's now 4 hits for Gem. And there is 5 hits for Gem. So that being a guaranteed orb, that's how we know that 15 is the maximum number of blue balls. But today, it is 1. So I see a Chris Mitter in chat who said 1. I see he's the only one who said it. Congratulations, you win the blue ball game. Unfortunately, we have no prize. You can go find it somewhere in Eastern Palace.
And there's our Dark World map check. We have our red crystals in Skullwoods and
Turtle Rock as a crystal. That is nasty. I saw the red pendant sitting down in Swamp Palace too.
Yeah, and I think it was the blue pendant at Palace of Darkness.
I didn't catch that one. I was looking for the red crystals, but the pendant at Swamp Palace is kind of a tease as well, because you might have to go to Swamp Palace for progression in a worst case scenario. We don't want to do that if we don't have to, obviously, because it's a pendant. We don't want to go inside if we don't have to, but the fact that there's 6 unique items in there means there's a good chance we may have to go in there at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, there's pretty much always something in Pendant Swarm.
Yeah, this is the same for Pendant Turtle Rocks, the same for Pendant Ice Palace. You can pretty much guarantee most of the time there's something in them.
Absolutely. Eri actually doing the same that Gem did, half a heart Aga fight.
Boy, good thing they picked up that heart at Zora's area now, huh?
Oh yeah.
They'd both be panicking at this point otherwise.
Yeah, that would have been a death.
We know Eriror is safe with regular orbs the rest of the way, but he didn't know that. Now he does.
And down he goes. And Gem checking the first chest in Palace of Darkness.
And by the way, the reason I was able to say that Eriror was safe the rest of the way is because as Gem takes a death warp, intended death, we know that Agahnim is seeded. In fact, I think it stays for Agahnim, it's seeded the same every time. Even if you die and go back, you'll have the same pattern. I've seen that happen when I died once. But what happens is that both Agahnim and Ganon's first encounter are seeded the same, so that runners will have the exact same experience. That way, no runner has an advantage over the other in the Agahnim or Ganon fights like you see in regular NMG.
Yeah, right. Same with Aga 2 and Ganon. And there's our mirror in Palace of Darkness.
And Eriror doing his own map check. I did see the blue pendant on pod that time, as you said, so that is all updated correctly.
Oh, that mirror making Palace of Darkness so much more nice.
The mirror is a real nice to have. Now, am I just imagining, or did he mirror back from that chest they picked up the mirror and just go right back past that chest again?
I think he jumped down to get the other chest at the bottom. That's where he got his key from.
Oh, that was at the bottom. Okay, yeah, okay, my mistake. So Ryer will be coming upon that mirror shortly. There's that Death Warp, but this will probably be our last Death Warp in the seed unless someone is low health on a high health meter and doesn't intentionally get more health. So barring that, that's going to be our last Death Warp in the seed.
So not much at the moment here in Path of Darkness.
There's $20 on that chest, Hardwood's Hallway.
So, yeah, sorry.
Eriror now has that mirror, I was going to say, nothing important. Go ahead.
Yeah, all we have left here for the moment is the Dark Maze. Where
I
you
think
got
that
a
was
first bottle, yeah.
Yeah, that was either that was a B or a fairy. I always have a hard time telling them apart.
It was a B.
That was a B, okay. And that was $300. That one I didn't have a problem telling apart. The number very convenient on that. And one more chest here is a map.
So, what we do have left here? Oh yeah, the vanilla
Swamp.
big key.
Swamp is open, I think.
It's open, but just only one chest at the moment.
Yeah, one chest. Could that be a hammer?
So, last chest here for Gem, the vanilla big key. The odds are good that that's a small key as well. And it is.
It is. Yeah, there's 6 small keys. There's a really good odd you're going to find a key when you're low on keys.
So Gem checking out the hint and then probably is off here. Yeah.
Some cash requires the boots.
Oh, such nice hints. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
That one is less useful than the other cash hint because that one avoids a check. This one just tells you something you don't need to know.
Yeah, but interesting to notice, we only found a mirror and a bottle here. So Ticket doesn't have anything. It's very much likely that Eastern has our progression. Ooh.
Either that or it's the first chest in Swamp, one or the other. Those are the 2 places we really have. Oh, Tower Hera. Tower Hera is open too.
Oh, right. Tower of Hera is open. Absolutely. And I think Catfish. Yeah, Catfish is possible.
Oh, wait a second. No, we don't have the Titans mate yet. No, Desert cannot be backdoored yet. Never mind.
No.
What I was thinking about there for those who might not be familiar with the randomizer, might be seeing this for the first time. Once they have the Titan Smith, they can flute over to the desert, lift a rock, go to the Dark World into Misery Mire area, and then go to a certain location where you can mirror back to the Light World and backdoor your way into Desert Palace without the Book of Medora. That is what I was talking about there. Right now they can't do that because they don't have the Titan Smith.
That is correct. And Gem heading now into Tower of Hera.
Yep. This is a dungeon where if you're running a spoiler log for a rat, you want to try and find a way to avoid this until it's your last dungeon. But in this, in the randomizer where you don't know where everything is, you pretty much have to consider that this is an easier check than some other ones and more populous than some other ones, like Swamp Palace, for example, when there's only one item available.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to roll this out and get it done while you're here.
Oh, big red bomb is there.
Shield and a piece of heart. That is Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, big fat fairy is dead today. We are not going to see that.
Poor old Plump Petunia is going to have to be lonely today. Yes, I call her Plump Petunia, don't judge me.
It's fine. So where is our progression? Is it in Hera?
Could be right here.
Hmm.
Oh.
Piece of heart.
Since there are 4 items, that's not a very useful hint.
Oh yeah. It's actually 5 items.
It can be useful if we find 3 unique items and we don't find that piece of heart. Then they can choose whether to skip that chest. That's the only way that it can be useful.
I think you have that mixed up with Thiefstone, am I correct?
Say again?
You have that mixed up with Thiefstone, right?
Whoops, you're right. Sorry, I was thinking down, you're right. I misread the hint. Okay. I need to wake up a little more.
Ah, it's fine, it's fine. That's why there are two of us here.
Yep. So Gem is doing the very long, torturous fighter sword Moldorm, which means he's going to speed up very fast right now. And, ooh, nice cape strat. I like it.
Yeah, that was nice. And he gets the key. There's an item in the basement.
In vanilla, I don't think you have the cape at that point, so it's very nice to have something like that and be able to use that strategy to avoid getting knocked off and get that last hit in.
Oh, absolutely. I think vanilla, the cape is...
Isn't it a big chest somewhere?
It is, but I don't know.
I think it might be Misery Mire, unless that's something else.
No, that's the Samaria.
Oh, that's Samaria, yeah, okay.
In King's Tomb is what Kato is telling us.
So the question in chat, is this hard mode? Yes, if you look on the top middle, you see that H at the end, that does signify hard mode. And Jem is having a nice cup of coffee while swinging the sword around aimlessly.
Yeah, no beer break today.
Ar, meanwhile, is now on the top floor himself, and he's going to take out the worm. Or will the worm take him out? Stay tuned.
Oh, he did. He fell down.
Ooh, he tried. It's actually possible to bounce off of Moldorm as you drop down and end up going right back up top. I've actually seen that a couple times.
Ooh, there is a hook shot.
Oh, will Eriror make this play? Oh, and he almost fell down on the last hit.
Yeah. The hook shot, one of my absolutely favorite items in the game.
It's also one of the most required items in the game. It's actually the last item you need to get through Ganon's Tower in that last push above where Moldorm 2 is to get to Agahnim himself.
Unless you can hover.
Unless you're Andy, yes. In which case...
No. Let me tell you something. Gem only won against Yoshi because he did hover.
I mean as a joke, because I think he was one of the first ones to do it. But unless you can hover, yeah. Eriror is making the play on hookshot.
Gem won against Yoshi only because he was able to hover.
That's amazing that it came down that close. So here are 10 arrows. Here is our Ether Medallion. I never explained the medallion's purpose, by the way. I'll do that in a minute here. We have 50 rupees. We have 20 rupees. And a big 5. So the medallions, we now have 2 of those found, the Quake and the Ether. Next to that is the Bombos, which is not lit up between the Ether and the Ice Rod. You notice that there are blank circles on 2 of the dungeons, Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. Those 3 medallions, 2 of those, or maybe even 1 of those, act as keys to those dungeons. You have to use those magics to open up the entrance to those 2 dungeons. Once we know what those are, those should be filled in on our tracker. We're going to get to see what Turtle Rock is right now. Well, actually, no, we're not. We got Dead Rocked. So he's going to do something else.
Oh, he can't get to Turtle Rock. He doesn't have mitts.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mitts either, so that wouldn't work. Never mind, he can't check right now. By this point, you're used to having the mitts, so you don't think about that.
Oh, yeah.
And we have the Walk of Shame right now because we don't have the boots, so this is a long, slow Resident Sleeper, slow walk. And inside the chest at the bottom, we have...
another potion.
Some goo.
The red one. Some blood in the potion.
And Gem pulling the wall in frustration. Duck picks him up and deposits him at Eastern Palace area. I think he has finally realized, you know what? I need to do this.
Nope, he's going to check the green pendant now.
Or the green pendant. Maybe he's going to do Eastern Palace after it. We'll see. Maybe this was the plan. Maybe this was the plan, actually.
Maybe, yeah, that's true, but I see Gem more likely doing going back to the Dark World and going over to Seepstone with that hookshot now.
I would think he would, yeah, but he's over here. You wouldn't come over here if you weren't going to check Eastern Palace too. You don't just come here for one item. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, he's
No,
going
he's
away.
leaving. Okay, I'm questioning the routing here, but I shouldn't because he's the one who got to Lunar's final, not me.
Well, if you make the call to avoid Eastern, you're sticking to that.
Well, I think the reason he's avoiding Eastern is because it bit him in the first race between these two runners.
Oh,
he made the Eastern Palace play, Eriror didn't early. And as a result, Eriror won the race because he managed to find the path quicker. Even though it was a horrible seed, it went back and forth a little bit, but Gem making that play at Eastern Palace did add up. Eriror didn't have to check all the chests at Eastern Palace. I think Gem is remembering that bit him. So he doesn't want to do that if he can avoid it. Thing is, if that is our progression, whoever makes that play first could end up winning the race.
Yeah, and in the second match, the Eastern Palace dip was required because the Moonpearl was there.
See, exactly. There you go.
I'm still curious if he will actually have the hammer or the mids in Eastern. That
seen
would
it.
be nice.
Hammer can be in Palace of Darkness too. But not today. We've already seen Palace of Darkness, so it's not there today. Unless it's on...
the Bullock side.
No, it can't be on... I was going to say unless it's on the King, but no, it can't be, because you need to get...
But there's still a Bullock side. There it could be. What? That's Blue Mail up there on the bumper ledge.
That is Blue Mail up there on the bumper ledge. And he thought about it, and he's going to go pick it up.
Oh, I would too.
Now, Gem has the hook shot, but something that some people still don't know about this cave, and I actually instructed someone in this the other night, was that you can actually go over and pick up those two skulls if you don't have the hook shot on the left side. You can actually get over to that, pick them up, and get around. So that's something that some people don't know about this cave. There you go, a little trick for those of you who are doing it at random. That's one of those gotchas.
And Eri making the call for the catfish.
Now, given how sparse this seed has been in some places, odds are catfish usually will have something important in a seed like this. I'll go with the hammer.
I call.
Sorry?
I call the boots.
It's a good option.
If Eri will find that, he will be very much happy.
Oh, he'll be going faster for sure.
There's our hammer!
Wow, that's our red mail. That's our second mail upgrade.
And Gem finding the hammer in Skullwood.
Well, it's funny I called hammer. It happened on the other screen as I did it.
Yeah. So we know where our two mail upgrades are.
And yeah, the red mail upgrade was on catfish. So there you go.
Both not so nice spots for that, but what's better, catfish or bumper ledge?
Pick your poison. They both suck.
Yeah, absolutely.
With this low health, it's something you really want to have. So you might as well get it while you can.
And that would have been the point. You could have checked above the post if you wanted, but we know there is nothing.
No, you don't have to. Yeah.
And Eri gonna see. Oh, there would have been the red mail.
Looks at it and says, I did check the catfish for what? But he knows he saved some time not having to get that himself now. So he actually is probably happy at this point he got catfish because he can save the bumper ledge strip. Gem may still check catfish later.
And Gem going to fight the moth here.
After using a sword to get through a wall and picking up a key from the mummy, there we go.
So that's the thing I wouldn't have done, for sure. Fighter sword, 6 hearts, no thank you.
Yeah, this is not in my playbook either.
Well, I mean, he has the hammer, but I suck with the hammer.
Not unless I have a lot of magic, maybe half magic to go with it, and am invisible as I do the fight. Then there might be some chance.
Yeah, but he actually did very well with the hammer.
He did very well. I've seen some really, really quick fights on Moth. Some top runners can do it in about 2 seconds and be done. And it's like, how do you do that?
Oh yeah, I can't see me doing that.
So Jem's going to go back and check the other chest, knowing there's still an item hiding in here. So he's going to find that out right now.
Yeah, and he actually has the advantage of having the hammer, so if we have an item here in Chiefstown where Eri is now...
Oh, no, he doesn't have the big key. This can be the big key. There it is. He has to go get the big key. I was just waiting to see the menu to confirm that and got a quick confirmation there.
But Eri deciding to just check the first 4 chests in Chiefstown and heading back out of there.
He's checking the rest of the Village of Outcasts for other progression. He wants to get the hammer before he goes deep with Dave's Town.
Oh yeah, and therefore he absolutely has to go to Skullwoods.
Indeed. And the reason I say he wants the hammer before going deep at Thieves' Town, there is a chest, that big chest, normally that holds the blue mail in the vanilla game. It is guarded by a hammer, by some hammer moles.
And there is a big 20 in the big chest. In Skullwoods.
All that for a big 20. Wow, wow, wow.
Eri deciding to...
Digging game.
Yeah, digging game, but now he don't has the hammer. He has to go all the way around to get his hammer again. He has to do... Oh, that's a bow!
Well, I was just going to say, let's see if we get something like the Titans bit here, but that's the bow. Eastern Palace can now be cleared.
And so could be Pot if he gets the hammer, but...
So can Pod if Eriror gets his hammer.
But he won't for quite some time.
He's going in quite a different direction. Skullwoods is not on his mind.
Yeah,
which is it's unusual because he has a fire rod. Why not go do it?
I mean, he probably thinks the same as I am doing. 6 hearts, fighter sword, no thank you.
Yeah, that might be what he's thinking about.
But if he doesn't find the mids now, he has to go all the way around through the pyramid and Dark Sanctuary. That's hell of a way.
We're gonna get stumpy right now, some blueberries there.
So his only chance now is Hype Cave.
Ooh, I keep forgetting we haven't seen Hype Cave. It's 48 minutes in, we haven't even seen it yet. So we're gonna get to see what's in Hype Cave, ladies and gentlemen. Get your hype in chat for Hype Cave, and let's see if we can find some hype in there.
I can totally see Eri doing Eastern Palace after that.
Me too. That bow is going to be directing him to Eastern, and he'll be a while before he goes back to Skullwoods. And here's Hype Cave. What do we have in Hype Cave? Our Cave of Disappointment at the call. But as the Titans bit today, what else is in here today?
That was so lucky.
This work, you said he has to find it. That's exactly what you said. And that's exactly what he found. And this is going to work out well for him. The hammer will still keep him from accessing, for example, that chest in Swamp, or that most of Swamp Palace, which we don't need anyway because it's dependent. And right now he's hoping there's no progression in Swamp because of that. We know this is going to hold off the one chest in Thieves' Town, but we're running out of items that could be in those chests anyway. It may not matter at this point. We have the boots. They're still nice to have. Powder is needed for Magic Bat, but again, may not matter. What really comes into play here is whether Bombos is needed anywhere, or if he can get to Desert Palace now, so we don't need the Book of Medora. At this point, it's only whether Bombos is needed. I think we're in what we can call no mode.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's
they need a sword.
Yeah, sword as well, and it's kind of Schrodinger's go mode because the boots could very well be required for
that is true.
locked desert or GT Torch.
So Schrodinger's no mode, we'll call it.
And we now actually are pretty much on the point. Eastern Palace didn't have our progression, so Aga was absolutely required.
So at this point, because we're in what the runners will be in a Schrodinger's go mode situation sooner or later, we know that. There's our sword, by the way. So
Yes,
save the boots. We're in go mode. So depending on where those boots show up, and whether they are required for a key on a torch or a small key in one case, it can be as well. Whether they are needed, that could be. I can assume that the runners will still open all the chests they can along the way, just to rule out the possibility that the boots are not in one of those chests. And if they don't find the boots along the way, they'll go to Ganon's Tower or Desert Palace as need be and take the chance on it. And if they find that there is a big key, or in the desert, a small key on the torch, because you might need it for the big key, if they do find that they need to bonk the torch in those cases, chances are they'll go and leave, and they'll start going to the pendant dungeons at that point. But otherwise, those pendant dungeons aren't getting visited today.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is another bottle with a B.
Of course, I say that, and we've already visited 2 pendant dungeons, so the better statement is the swamp would not be getting visited.
Yeah, our 2 pendant dungeons so far absolutely required. Hera with the hookshot and Palace of Darkness with the mirror.
You know what? At this point, I can see the seed throwing boost in Swamp Palace just to say, you know what? You want to finish the game? You're coming here. That blind pun, by the way. New light bulb invented. Enlighten me.
And perfectly scripted blind fight there.
Very nicely done. So I guess it's $20 reward and a beautiful crystal. So go ahead.
Ooh, very nice quick kill from Eri there on the Amos.
Yep, another crystal there. So as Eriror celebrates and Gem wanders around those Outcasts, just remind you again, we are 52 minutes into the absolute grand final between Gem and Eriror. This series, not this single match, because it's a 3-game series, best of 3. But this series will decide the champion of the German Link to the Past tournament and Link to the Past randomizer tournament for 2019. I am Cyclone, joined by Wolfie, and this is being triple cast not only here on the English channel, but of course on the German channel, being a German tournament. We're also having commentary on Speed Gaming Francais today for this matchup. So whichever language you prefer to watch in, you can go and to either of those 3 channels, and you're able to watch on any of those 3 channels today. In fact, there's a list of the channels in the chat. Thank you, Catabat, for putting that in the chat. You can also see we have a Portuguese and Espanol channel, but they're not broadcasting today's race.
Yeah, and actually a little more of an info there. The reason why this is also streamed on on the French channel, the winner of the 2 tournaments will race against each other. I think it was.
I missed part of that, sorry.
The French tournament is going on right now as well, or it actually is finished by last week, I think.
Oh, okay.
And the winner of the German and French tournament will have a race against each other.
Yes. I actually remember this last year. Last year it was Bonta and the Lane, and the Lane ended up being the winner of that series, 3-1. I called the first 2 races that one as well. So that was a fun little series to have. And there's another sword for Eriror. We have a 3rd sword location found at Checkerboard Cave. So that was a fun series, and we're going to be doing that all over again this year.
Yeah, and I'm very much excited for the next tournament because I will participate in that as well.
Nice.
I won't have big chances, but I might have some fun there. So
You never know. You never know.
And there's the mid. Yeah.
Yeah, not much else. And I never asked before, and I usually do this after a hype cave, but we were just chattering about the Titans a bit. How would you rate that hype cave?
Well, the mid's making that a solid 4.
Look at that! Small key on the torch.
Ooh.
We have to keep an eye on Desert Palace right now. We have to watch Eriror side right now to see what he finds. If the big key is not here, this could be very, very troubling.
Oh yeah.
That is not a big key. That is very, very troubling.
So we need our boots for
Well,
them, sure.
Yeah, we need the big key to get back to Moldrum. Yeah, we have to have the boots. Boots are absolutely required today. We do see Bombos as a medallion, so Bombos absolutely required again to Misery Mire.
Yeah, but he will find that right here, I think. Yep,
There you go.
it was.
That's where it was, right on the doorstep. So Jem's like, "Oh, that's convenient."
Yeah, I have seen it so many times.
Oh, I love being able to call that. That's going to happen. I love being able to call predicting that. I think it happened. Go ahead.
Because that really happens so many times.
It does. It really does. I've seen Dr. Bob have it happen once, and he called it. I've called a Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer, and I've seen the key in Hookshot Cave for Turtle Rock. So it happens all the time.
Oh yeah. Funny to notice, we only are boots away from Go mode, and we are only on 6 hearts. I mean, that could be an issue.
Now, if that big key had been in that one chest, we wouldn't even need the boots. So, but at this point, we know that we need the boots. So those boots can now be in Misery Mire. Not in Misery Mire. They could be, of course. But what I was trying to say is they could be in Swamp Palace.
Oh, I can absolutely see that.
I can see them being forced to open every single chest along the way and then finally go to Swamp Palace and get their speedwear.
Yeah, best on Argus.
That's what you expect from Randomizer.
Oh yeah. And they would absolutely last locate that.
They would absolutely, I agree with you.
For sure.
Probably off of Argus itself. Jem's getting his third sword now. We know that is his final sword. He will not see, well, he will see the other sword location, but he will see 20 rupees instead.
Yep.
And we will know it because the items are replaced by a green rupee with the number 20 on it, compared to the regular red 20 rupees that you see. That's how we know this is a sword location, or a male location in one case.
Or actually the mirror shield. That
could be the shield too, yeah. Could be. But we're not at that point yet. I think we only had like one found so far and it wasn't picked up.
Yep.
Actually, that was in Pyramid Fairy, so we're not going to even see that one today. We're not going to see the mirror shield location as the mirror shield or 20 rupees. Oh, Gem almost dead rocking himself. My goodness.
Oh, I did that today. That wasn't fun.
Never argue with a stunned dead rocket.
There is our first shield. And Eri noping out of Misery Mire. I absolutely understand that. I wouldn't do 6-heart Viti Master Sword. No, thank you.
Vinny could be done if you had the silver arrows, but no, not with Master Sword and no silver arrows. And yes, even though the silver arrows in the inventory, notice I say without silver arrows. They don't work in hard mode. Only on Ganon.
Yeah, that's one of the hard things that annoys me a lot. And Eri thinking the same as Gem, going up to Darkness Mountain. But I would absolutely do... Oh, there's our last sword, by the way.
That was our last sword, yeah.
And some magic powder.
There's a heart container.
Yeah, our third heart container.
Little trivia about those heart containers for those new to the game, by the way. Most of the heart containers in this game do not give you a health refill like you see in other Zelda games. The reason for that is because when you pick up the heart container, the game does not, in the vanilla game, the game knows that you're in the boss room anyway and knows you pick up the crystal, so the game refills your health when you pick up the crystal or the pendant. It will not refill your health when you pick up the heart. There is one exception to this, and that is the heart that you get in Sanctuary. Because there's no crystal or pendant to pick up there, the game gives you a health refill as you leave Sanctuary.
Yep, and there's the tempered sword for Eri, as we knew we would
Exactly.
find it.
So I was trying to say that sword will, that heart will give you that we call that Snake Heart. So Rara now on even pegging with the swords, not too far away getting his third sword as well. Some bombs that are just requiring special unlock. We don't care now. We're going to get that anyway at this point, unless I had the boots.
Yeah, but that's good to know. That's one of that.
Yeah, it's good to strike it off. Good to strike it off. There's a huge chain to lead to that, though, and odds are you'd be getting the blacksmith before you get the. You have to get the blacksmith before you get the purple chest anyway. So I don't think that was even on his mind, but still good to cross it off.
Absolutely.
Jump quickly, getting the hook shot out and hooking to a platform, falling into the pit, getting off the platform a lot quicker, gonna get in the door a lot quicker as a result.
And Eri now finally with tempered sword going up to Skullwoods and grabbing his hammer.
They'll be like, I could have used this 10 minutes ago. And there's a small key in that chest for gems, so going to head into the interior of not Thieves Town, Turtle Rock with two small keys. No, this is normal for this. You think you have to have two small keys at this point to, or at least between this and the Chain Chomp chest, you have to have at least two small keys to move on. So it's very common to find two in those first three chests of Turtle Rock.
Yep, pretty much.
And there's the big key. So now we have to find another small key at some point. Most likely the Lava Island chest at this point will be a small key. Why do I say Lava Island chest? You'll see in a moment. Oh, there's the lava.
Ooh.
Oh, there's the island. Pipe congestion.
Oh, right. Chat pointing out a very mean thing. The boots could very well be on the pedestal.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Good call, chat. Chat keeping the pen hype alive. I like it. Very, very low IQ chance at this point, but it could be.
Yeah, we have so much things to check. But yeah, it could.
Now, neither runner has the book, so they can't even check to see what's on the pedestal yet. So that's not going to get checked. If it's pulled, it's going to be pulled blind today.
Oh, if that's a blind pull for the boots, that's so nasty.
Blind pull for go mode. I've actually had a race once calling where checking the pedestal put a runner into go mode. Just basically, man, okay, don't open anything else. Just go get that thing you need to get this, and you're done.
Oh, for the chat, to see Maya didn't happen because they had 6 hearts and Master Sword, so they didn't want to bother with that.
And that could be our boots too. This could be their go mode, and they're wasting all this time because they didn't check those chests in Mire.
Yeah, and there's a Swagnet.
Oh, good. I'd make the joke that we can beat Agahnim now, but they already did it without the net, so I'm kind of disappointed. There's our shovel. That could dig up the boots.
Oh yeah.
You could dig that, couldn't you?
Absolutely. And there's the hammer for Eri.
And he's probably wishing he had that a little bit sooner.
Yeah, probably. ₹5 here at the spike roller chest. And now Eri going to clear Seepstown.
And Gem's going to clear a dark room of twisty turny platforms, or maze paths. Now we call the pod room the dark maze. This is more of a dark maze.
Well, is it the maze if you know how to go through it?
Yeah, but that's the thing with most mazes, right?
Oh yeah.
And once you solve a maze once, you're like, okay, give me a fresh version. Done.
Laser bridge for Gem.
We are still looking for the boots. They could be here. That was our last key, by the way, so you can finish the dungeon now. Compass and 300 rupees. What is in this last chest? Will this be the boots? Will this be our go mode?
Yeah!
Yes!
Oh my god! We are in go mode after 1 hour 6 minutes.
Yeah, about 1 hour 6 minutes even, close to that. And that also means that, ladies and gentlemen, the pedestal is dead, so we're not going to be pulled. Some cash is in the Sage's closet. Thanks, game.
Ah, I love those hints. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I'm
you
a big
do.
fan. I'm a big fan of getting rid of all of the hits. I mean, in the next version, there is an option to turn off hints, right? I would absolutely do that.
It would change the dynamic of races, just like having the hints did change the dynamic of races when it started, because now checking the hints is part of your strategy. You can get some good information from them.
Oh yeah. But like, let's be honest.
I like the idea of turning off hints, though, because being in the spoiler log term, you can just change the hint house and say, read the spoiler log, I'm nuts.
Oh yeah. But also, let's be honest, 90% of the time the hints are absolutely garbage.
A little bit less than that. I'd say about 85. You get a few good ones.
Okay.
At least 1 or 2 in a seed, usually.
Okay. Fine.
And so if you have a really good seed, you might get 3 or 4. So Ryra is now going to escort a beautiful maiden out of Thievestown after getting hit by Zizak.
But still funny to notice, we are in go mode 7 hearts.
Yeah, do you keep checking chests looking for more hearts, or do you just go it?
I would absolutely go with this, but I wouldn't feel very safe with that.
Oh, I'd be scared to death about this.
Oh yeah.
And then I would die, so you know.
And chances aren't bad that we find at least some hearts in GT itself.
Yeah, but it's not really GT you really need the hearts for that badly. It's more the bosses. Some of the bosses are really difficult.
Oh, I need those hearts for Ganon.
Well, Ganon, I can see it for Ganon, but I actually don't mind the Ganon fight as much compared to some other bosses.
Yeah, but I have some problems with Ganon.
Yeah, understandable. Completely understandable.
Especially if you only give me Master Sword, and especially Silverless. I mean, ugh.
Gem bonking off a spike. Those do a heart damage, I believe, regardless of whatever mail you have.
Yeah, and Eri checking the Smith chain now, which we know he doesn't have to do that.
I don't think he got the purple chest hit either, did he?
Where was that? Was it the one in Turtle Rock, actually?
I think it was. So he's going to be doing the purple chest now. We know this is a waste of time. He doesn't. It's worth noting as well, the runners are running a little while ahead of the stream here, so as to ensure that they are doing this blind, so to speak. There's no chance of getting information from the other runner or from someone else. So they're doing this a little bit ahead of us, so we are seeing this in real time as they raced it, but it is far enough ahead that they are that they're going to be able to tune in and watch the other broadcast if they so wish.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Nice, beautiful blind fight by Gem. You cannot do it better than that.
That was very much an amazing cold step fight.
That was, or did I say blind?
Yes, you did.
I got the word blind on the brain from that other explanation. Yeah, that was an absolutely perfect cold stare fight. You cannot do really any better than that. I don't think there were any frames to save in that at all.
Oh no, that was. I am amazed by that.
And he picks up the rock just for fun.
Why not?
Waiting for the bird, man. You gotta get some exercise. Lift that rock.
Yeah, to chat, we have to hammer on both of them.
And then you know what the nicest thing about Go Mode Misery Myra is?
You can probably God route that.
Yeah, if it's in the first chest, you open your God routing that place.
Yeah, that feels very nice. And please don't tell me Eri is going to Swamp Palace right now. Oh my god.
I have bad news for you, Wolfie.
He is.
Eri's going to Swamp Palace right now.
Oh wow, that's death right there. Let me tell you. I don't wanna predict anything, but I have to be honest. That's not good.
Well, I think Random2552 said it best in chat because he's thinking exactly what I'm thinking here. Eri knows that he's behind, and to him, this is his chance to try and get back in the race. But we know there's not going to be anything he needs here. And answering another question, chat. Yes, he is looking for the boots. We do know the boots are needed to complete Desert Palace today. The small key on the torch leads to the big key, which is somewhere on the right side, one of the two chests on the right side. So, yeah, he thinks this is his play. He's trying to avoid opening other chests in Turtle Rock and other dungeons along the way. With Turtle Rock, you can't really avoid a lot of them, but we know the boots are in Turtle Rock. He's going to have to open all those chests, meaning that he's not going to find anything here.
Yep, absolutely. But still, it's a hard call. You have so many crystal dungeons to clear.
Well, to him,
you could clear Maya, you could clear Turtle Rock, and absolutely find your boots on the way there. So
I can't question the play either, though, because in the logic, he can fully complete this dungeon. So I can't question the logic at all. But I would still be doing a place like Ice Palace if I could before coming here, because Ice Palace you can at least mark off and complete. You can do Misery Mire at this point, mark it off and complete it. Yes, you prefer to God mode it, so you don't want to do it unless you can go get the big key and be done. But these are crystal dungeons. You can complete those right now, and those could be where the boots are. So making the play on Swamp Palace, he thinks that maybe Gem is not going to be lucky to find the boots in those other locations, which we know he found them already in Turtle Rock. But Eriror is playing as if the boots are in Swamp Palace. He literally is playing that the boots are in Swamp Palace right now.
Yeah, and we know it isn't, so... Of course, he doesn't know that, so yeah.
Of course. Well, he might know by now since he's playing ahead, obviously, of what we're seeing. But at this point, no, he did not know that. He does not know that.
He might find some hard containers. Yeah, sure.
He might find the hard containers. That'll be nice. Yeah, that could give him an advantage later. But At this point, he's far enough behind that I don't think the heart containers are going to do very much.
Or maybe he actually mistracked and thought Swamp was a crystal. That's also a possibility.
It's possible. You'd have to look at his stream tracker to confirm that. I don't have that up right now.
Yeah, me neither.
If someone in chat has a stream, maybe they can confirm that for us.
Let me check that out, actually.
Okay. Meanwhile, we have a victorious fight on Gem's side, and Gem is gets rid of the eyes very quickly. Takes on the big eyeball. Notice the silver arrows were not taking effect because they are not silver in this boss fight. They are regular arrows in this boss fight. He finishes the eyeball, gets the key.
Oh, Eri actually tracked Swamp as a crystal.
Oh
my
no!
God.
What did he mark as a pendant?
He marked Ice Palace as a pendant.
Oh no!
Yeah, there you go. That's why he's doing Swamp.
That is why he's good catch. Oh my, that is going to be unfortunate.
He will be so disappointed.
This is going to cost him the race. This completely is going to cost him the race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ouch, yeah, that hurts. He will not be happy about that.
No, he will not be happy about that at all. And now he has no camera on his stream, so you can't see his reaction, but you can see he's going to be heading probably to Ice Palace next here.
Yeah, checking him up to make sure. Oh my.
He was like, oh, that's what I did. So at this point, he knows he lost the race. We thought that was a Hail Mary play looking for the boots. But no, he mismarked the tracker, and he knows now that he just lost about 5 or 6 minutes of time going through a dungeon he really didn't need to go through.
Now he's going to Ice Palace.
Yep. Now, he probably thinks that will be the single reason he lost the race, but what he does not know is since the boots are in Turtle Rock, if his opponent is already in go mode, he's already lost the race, in my opinion. I don't mean to say that as a negative, obviously, but in my opinion, he's already lost the race because he's far enough behind. I doubt he can make this up. But at the same time, if the boots were in Swamp Palace, that would have been a God mode play. Just by an actual mismark, if that were to lead to the boots in Swamp Palace, that would have been absolutely beautiful for him because it would have put him in go mode. It just didn't work out that way for him today.
Yep, unfortunately that didn't work out. Meanwhile...
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, it was not important. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, Gem picking up his 6th crystal and only has Eastern Palace to finish.
That's not my point. Yep. We're doing it again, sorry. Something I'll point out here is even though we're talking about Gem going to be pretty much guaranteed to win this race now, keep in mind this is a 3-game series. So Eriror will lose the 1 game, but he will not be out of the series. He will still be able to come back. He will still be able to try to win another game. He has played a lot more random in this tournament than Gem has, having to play almost twice as many matches. So he can do that. He can come back and easily take the next 2 games.
Oh, absolutely.
So as Eriror does his bomb jump, gets through the room. I still have a hard time with that bomb jump too, by the way. That can be tough to learn, but once you got it, you pretty much have it.
Yep. So, as Gem runs through Eastern Palace, we have a nice game to announce here.
Oh?
So, as most of you know, we play a nice game. It's called the Big Key Guessing Game. So, as soon as Jam picks up his final crystal, we are starting the guessing game for the Big Key in Ganon's Tower. You have 22 locations where it could be. And if you are a supporter of any of the speed gaming channels, you could win some very much wanted honor.
Big
Sorry,
money.
go ahead.
Big prizes. I love it.
Except there are no prize, just the honor.
What, the leaderboard spot isn't a prize? You're kidding, right?
I actually don't know.
Well, given how few races are going to be on the English channel, it won't matter. More on the German channel because you got all the races over there, but we're only going to have a few to track over here. So, yeah, you'll basically be in our one-win group on the leaderboard, and if you're lucky to get 2, you'll be our leader of the game for the entire tournament.
Wow. Okay.
What are the big key guesses at on the German channel for the tournament so far? How many wins do we have over there?
Oh, I think at the first rank there's a tie actually, with I think 13 victories of the guessing game.
Oh, nice. That's a good number. So anyway, we're going to have the Armor Knights fight for Gem right now. This won't take long at all. So again, if you're a subscriber to the Speed Game, any of the Speed Gaming channels, any of our 10 or 11 channels, or if you are a donator of 250 bits or more, you can have your guess counted. So get ready. We're going to start that game as soon as we see Gem finish the fight. And that means we're going to start the game.
Are you gonna do it or should I do it?
I was waiting for the chat to catch up. I account for the delay before running the command, so we were going there. We are all set. The game is underway. And of course, someone pulled my 11 guess just before I put it in chat. Yeah, where do you want to say the big key is, Wolf?
I'm a fan of lucky number 7, but I never won with that. So I'm going with the 18 today. And be a little bit meaner.
Jeez, we almost had 7-11 out of the commentary guesses. Oh well. So 11 and 18 are our commentary guesses today. Of course, get your own guesses in chat. We'll see who is right here. Of course, regardless of what it is, it's always 11 because always.
Oh yeah, always.
So Eriror is making his way up Death Mountain, but not for the same reason that Gem is. Gem has got all of his crystals, Eriror does not. And Eriror is going to have to head back down later, get Mizumara in Desert Palace. He's got a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah, he absolutely does. So, and as we are on the finals, I think... yeah. And
So Gem enters Ganon's Tower. We're going to stop the game. And good luck to everyone who put in a guess. So it looks like we didn't need the torch there. He's going to move on to the next chest. That means Bob is going to live today, and if we see Bob, we'll explain later. So chest number 2 is a key, or location number 2 rather. There's a heart piece. That is a fire shield. That is a cane of Burna. So Brian, if you are looking for your cane, it is in Ganon's Tower. Please check in as we Dark Magician. Please check in the Dark Magician room, and we will get that for you. So 50 rupees and a heart piece in the right pathway. By the way, that for those not familiar with the game, that key door leads to the room with the torch. Those two rooms are actually connected. So it is possible, if you're new to the randomizer, to use your small key there and end up soft locking yourself. So do not open that door.
Yep. But of course, there would be enough small keys, but don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. You're wasting a key. And like I said, in very, very sparse situations, you can soft lock yourself, so you don't want to do that. And we watch a beetle animation, a death animation get slowed down by a chest being opened mid-death. That's kind of creepy. So 11 items checked. We have not found it yet. Now, normally my 11 is in Randall Room. We haven't seen Randall Room yet, but it's not going to be 11 today. And this is why I'm not a fan of the Dark Magician strategy, because you leave after going. Ooh, that hurts for a Ryre. But you leave Ganon's Tower back to the entrance halfway through the left side strat. I would take it at least to Random Room and then go back to the start instead. But then it wouldn't be called Dark Magician if it did that.
Yep, and there is the big key.
This is why I would continue along and not turn over to the right side. Either you make the right play right away, or you don't, and that's the way I would do it. So anyway. Number 12, I believe that was. We're going to put that down as today, and that means that our winner, who is, I saw you put it in, thank you. We have the winner in our chat today being the Bass Beast. And it looks like it is counting this actually among all the German results. So we are seeing the big key results for all the German games too. I see Old Demi and Tanworth are among the winners who have 13. We have some people with 10. Schlacht 89, 9 wins, Cyberlink 8 wins, Atello, and Tulsa 24 all leading the leaderboard. But the Bass Beast is on that leaderboard now, not in the top group, unfortunately, but you are definitely on the scoreboard. So welcome to the leaderboard.
Yeah, and Old Demi and Tanvir have their fixed guesses on the guessing game, by the way. Tanvir always goes with the 4 and Dami goes with the 7. Oh no, so, he goes with the 10 or something? Yeah, he goes with the 10, I think.
Either way, it's been working for him, and that's why they stick with it, obviously. So, but randomizer, another tournament, it could only win twice for all we know. You never know. So it will vary from time to time. I have seen 11 win, just not very frequently in my case. But I always stick with it too. In any case, we are going through the gauntlet right now. It's been enough talking about big key games. We should worry about the race here right now, which Jem is in the last room of the gauntlet. As you see, we have Beamos everywhere. Beamos on ice, That's not the Disney show that I signed up to see, but we're going to go to charge the sword and walk into Moldorm 2. Not Moldorm 2, Landmolus 2. Landmolus 2. Didn't do it in one cycle, but again, without silvers, that might be a little hard here. He did do it in 2 cycles, though.
He actually waited a bit. So, funny fact, which not a lot of people know. If you're waiting in the room before Landmolus 2, all 3 of them will spawn at the same time. So if you ever wondered why are there spawning so all together sometimes and not always? Yeah, that's why. Just because you have to wait a little bit.
Very weird things with the programming of the game that cause that to work, but hey, it works.
Yep. So Jam almost done with GT, and Eri still looking for his boots to finish Desert Palace, and has to finish Misery Mire after that as well.
I'll be interested to see whether Ryra decides to continue after Gem finishes the race. At this point, I think it would take, I've done the calculation on this, I think it would take about 75 Ganon falls for Ryra to catch up at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. So another hard mode difference that you should have seen there. If you powder the anti-fairies, you only get a heart and not a fairy.
Yeah, and that is a huge difference because if you're used to having that fairy when you are low on health, it's not going to be there anymore. You have to be a little more careful as you go up the tower and make sure you conserve some of those hearts because you can get those little bits of hearts, but they won't give you very much health. That's not even going to survive a hit in many cases for that one heart.
Yep. And now Eri entering Go mode right here.
And off he goes to Drynex.
Double hit on Ara 2 for Gem.
There's
that was a mean setup.
This could be... Oh, blue ball took that away, and that blue ball kind of distracted him, so gonna have to... there's a double. Just need to get one hit here, and he's good.
So, 2-1-0-2-1.
21,021.
And now we only have the big pig. It's himself.
Time for the big pig. So we're gonna create a cuckoo-shaped hole in the pyramid. Don't ask me why it looks like a cuckoo. It just does.
It's a weird shaped cookie, though.
You can see the head on the right, though, right? What is Ganon gonna say today? So you thought you might like to go to the show and feel the warm thrill of confusion that Space Connect load. Didn't he say that in the first seed I called for this tournament?
I don't.
He said that 2 races ago. I'm very sure of it.
I have no idea. I don't remember such things.
So Jeb was hiding along the bottom wall there.
Ooh.
You notice he was using the hook shot in order to avoid the fire touching. That's a little thing with the hook shot in the game. If you have the hook shot out, you're invincible. So things will not damage you when they go across your frame. Ganon now in Temper Tantrum mode, being very kind today in his Temper Tantrums, only warping one at a time all 4 times. Very, very nice Ganon fight here today for Gem.
Oh yeah. And there's a double hit, isn't it? Yes, it is. And another one right here.
Oh, is he going to fall off? Oh, I thought he was about to fall, but he got the double. And that was a perfectly executed, absolutely perfectly executed Ganon fight. So Gem is going to be crossing the bridge as Eriror is trying to come through Misery Mire right now. 3 dungeons behind. I'm guessing is going to forfeit here, but let's get the SRL time for Gem at the very least. And Gem has an official SRL time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 40 seconds. And as I predicted, Eriror forfeit 5 seconds later.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that. He would have
neither.
to do so much stuff before he finishes. So yeah.
Yeah, he had so much left to go, and he probably wanted to just go ahead and forget that this seed happened. He made that one big mistake. It wasn't until you noticed that you checked the stream and you saw it yourself that he had mismarked Swamp Palace as a crystal. That was a huge mistake that he had made. But even without that mistake, I think it's safe to say that he would have still lost the race. Would you think that to be the case?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was way too far behind to win that.
Yeah, the boots being in Turtle Rock was, in a sense, his death knell. It wasn't quite last location, but it might as well have been because he checked Swamp Palace, he checked Ice Palace, he got all those checks out of the way, and then he went to Turtle Rock and found the boots. Yes, while the mismark did have something to do with it, you try and avoid going into Swamp if you don't have to. And since it was just the boots he was looking for, he would have avoided going to Swamp if he could anyway. But the mismark on Swamp being a crystal instead of a pendant really did amplify the damage for him today and really made it a lot harder for him to keep pace with Gem in this race because it effectively took a deficit and doubled or tripled it at that point, you might as well say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now we're going to be in that little momentary awkward phase here where we keep an eye on the German channel, because what's going to happen here is that the racers will interview on the German channel before they come over to here. So when they're going to complete that interview, we may end up getting through the entire credit sequence before they're over here. But again, it's a German tournament, so they're going to go to the German channel first, obviously, and interview there before coming over to here. So let me actually see if both runners are in that channel, out of curiosity.
Yeah, they are.
They are, okay. So nice to see that. They're both having their interview right now, and then they will eventually be joining us over here when they're done.
Yep. And having an interview with Gem is pretty rare, let me tell you. Gem barely does any interviews. I think over the whole course of the tournament, he didn't do any interviews except for I think the first match of the last best of 3 against both of those.
Who, Eriror, you mean?
No, Gem.
Oh, Gem. I didn't realize he wasn't giving reviews the entire tournament. That's interesting. I know he didn't after the second race because he was not happy with how he played that second race, I heard.
Oh, yeah.
But, and you were on comms for that, so you know that. You and Zalisha were on that day, I believe. Yeah, I didn't know that he wasn't giving interviews for much of the tournament, just for the finals.
Yeah, I don't know. He does that. I don't know why, but I mean, it's Gem. I don't know.
And there are some racers who, for some reason or another, they may not have a microphone, for example, so it's impossible for them to give interviews in that case. I can understand a situation like that, obviously, but yeah, it just. I don't want to say that runners should or should not give interviews, because that's not proper for me or anyone else to suggest. It really comes down to how you're feeling after a race. If you're feeling like really rage salty, you want to swear at something, no, you probably don't want to give an interview. It's probably not going to be good interview material or good broadcast material. But if you're still happy about it, you're just having fun with playing the game and it just didn't go well, and you're happy to chat about it and make jokes and have some fun with the fact that, yeah, mistakes happen, then yeah, it's still good to give an interview if you're capable. But again, it's entirely up to the runner. Runners' interviews are always optional. You don't have to give them. They're not required.
Yeah, right. I could also see the reason. Maybe he's shy. Who knows?
Anyway, as we're going to get a chance to be reminded of some of the wonderful people who made the original game here. A lot of these people, I don't want to say a lot of these people still work at Nintendo. Obviously, I don't know that, because this was a game that was programmed some 23 years ago. Some of them may even be dead by now, for all we know. But some of the people here are still very much alive. Koji Kojo, I think, for example, is listed the credits through the music. He's done a lot of the music, and I think he actually gives... he's actually done concerts in Japan. I actually have a recording of some music he did in Super Mario Brothers concert that they put on in Japan, and it's very popular. Some of the music that there's Koji Kondo right there, for example, sound composer. So it's very popular concept of video game music in concert. I've seen it even in America or in Canada as well, with some Legend of Zelda music being done in concert setting. Really, really good music in the game, and a lot of good things in this game. This game has stood the test of time and is still really fun to play as a rando. So now we're going to get to the statistics portion. Let's see what we have here. Oh, that's contributors, randomizer contributors. So now we're going to get to the people who were behind this randomizer. For example, Carcat, Vitor, Crystal Zoan. All names are very well known. Carcat has done some help with the crowd control races we sometimes put on. And some of those are going to be taking place over the summer as well, so keep an eye out for those. Usually, I believe, on Saturday nights, those take place if they're scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
And those are on the English channel.
And sorry if I'm a bit quiet. I'm listening to the German interviews to know when the two of them will join us here.
I'm just watching him in the. I'm just watching the channel myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
okay, so you are in there.
Let's let's just talk more about the seed in the meantime. What stood out in that seed as a possible hurdle for Eriror to you?
Well, I think first off, that hammer location, he put it very far behind. Obviously, then pushing off Seastown because of that. He could have then done that all in one swoop and just finished that up.
I do remember he went in and did the first 4 of Thieves Town and then left and then just kept going south. So I think you're absolutely correct. Not finding the hammer in like he had the ability to complete Mothula right away. He could have done that and then gone and done Thieves Town full clear. And like you said, that cost him a lot of time going along the southern check, buying the things he didn't need. And then again, the Swamp Palace play just escalating it and making it even worse because he had mismarked it. And it's easy to lose races on a mismark. I think the runners are coming over here now, though. I'm going to stop what I'm saying here because as I see the credits coming up and finishing the collection rate for Gem 147,216, we do see that on his side, and both runners are now in the stream with us. GG to both of you.
GG's.
Oh, GG Gem, once again.
GG once
yeah.
again.
Noting again that you've already done on the German channel, of course. So I'll start with Gem. How did that seed feel to you today?
Well, I mean, pretty much perfect, so couldn't have gone much better, I think.
And I know, like, we're not really going to be telling you anything you haven't already heard in the previous interviews, probably, because you probably talked about some of this over there. But I think we've come in chatting between Wolfie and myself. I think we've come to the conclusion that that hammer in Swamp Palace was the thing that really made the difference in this race. Or did you have any thoughts of going to Swamp Palace sooner than you did?
I hope you're talking about Skullwoods because
Skullwoods. No, I've been doing that all day. Sorry. Yeah, Skullwoods. Yeah, Skullwoods. That's right. Swamp Palace is a different question.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe was a bit too afraid of Skullwoods. I wasn't playing too well early game, and just decided to do most of the overworld, maybe find a sword to make Skullwoods easier. I mean, it did happen in the end, and I felt pretty good after finding the mids in Hype Cave. I thought maybe the hammer's just behind that, and maybe Jim just did low percent Skullwoods and Thieves Town, waste a little bit of time, and maybe even leave an item in Thieves Town or something. So until I found the hammer in Skullwoods, I was feeling pretty okay. But after, I knew, I had to leave Turtle Rock behind because I had no hammer. Otherwise, I would have gladly done that as well. It just all didn't really work out, but I don't really regret the decision I've made in this point.
Yep, understandable. And I'm just curious because we actually took a look. We were wondering why you went to Swamp Palace at one point. We noticed that you seem to have mismarked it on your tracker during the race.
Yeah. I thought, okay, sure, I'll do Swamp. I know left side has nothing, and then go all the way to Argus. I was a bit disappointed that I didn't find the boots, of course. And then I suddenly got a pendant. And, well, that was kind of a surprise. So I quickly checked my map to see what I mismarked. Turned out that ice was the crystal instead, which is probably the worst case scenario. But, yeah. That wasn't pretty. It happens. I think it's the first time in like a year that it happened to me, so I was probably due for a mistake.
And all runners...
Do you not have the music turned on?
Sorry?
Do you not have the music turned on for the game?
I did. I just didn't listen to it. I usually
okay.
don't recognize it by that. I'm usually pretty confident that I mark stuff correctly and all that, so...
Alright.
It just didn't occur to me as unusual.
Now, the good news, if you want to look at this as good news, is that probably would not have affected the result. Jem had gotten to that hammer a long time before you did. You still got the hammer before you went to Swamp Palace. So, and in a way, the hammer might have led you to Swamp Palace, obviously thinking it was a crystal. But when you went to Swamp Palace, if you were to listen back to what we were broadcasting, we were talking about the possibility that you were doing a Hail Mary play. You might have been thinking if the boots are in Turtle Rock, I've already lost. So you're going to Swamp Palace to look for the boots, Crystal Pendant Dungeon. At that point, we'd already seen Jem pick up the boots, so we knew they were in Turtle Rock. In which case, you were right. If the boots were in Turtle Rock, we would have already lost. So we thought it might be a play like that. We actually had no idea until we looked at the stream ourselves that you had mismarked us. That was actually news to us that had happened.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been pretty reasonable. I'm not really one to make Hail Mary plays, only if I like die multiple times or something. It definitely won me a daily or weekly once, but in a 1v1 scenario, I'm usually not one to like gamble like that because I hate it when it happens to me as well. It's just a really bad feeling to know that your opponent makes dump plays that have a low % chance of working out just because you're playing against someone who's better than you. So I usually would just play straight up. It was just a mistake. I'm not sure if I would have made that play otherwise if I knew it was dependent and found a hammer late.
Yep, understandable. And mistakes do happen. I can consent that I make a lot of mistakes, so I can certainly confirm mistakes do happen. Obviously, it's just one race. Brush it off and move on to the next one. The next race, of course, is on June 26th, which is 5 days from now, 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. I think that's 7:30 in German time, and 6:30 for those of you watching in the UK on our English channel. How do you feel going into the next race? Now, that's for both runners.
I don't feel that much different. I mean, I already talked 2 days ago about how now we're actually in the grand finals. I was up against the final boss gem, so I already had little hope, right? But no. Seriously, I think I'm just gonna play as usual, and the best player wins. And Gem is just an amazing random runner. I might have a small execution edge, but like Gem practices like NMG stuff in his own time as well. Even though he doesn't really run NMG, like Zero Circle Argus and all that stuff, he's amazing. And if I lose, I lose, and if I can put up a great showing, I'm happy to.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I think as well. I mean, I think we're pretty even. Eri already said he has maybe a slight execution advantage. But yeah, if the seed is bootless like today for a long time, even that doesn't really matter too much. So I think it's just a really even matchup, and it's really anybody's game.
Yeah, but talking about execution, your boss fights just were so flawless. Like, especially that Coldster fight was amazing from you, I must say.
Absolutely. You couldn't do it any better.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one.
You want to learn how to do a Coldster fight, go watch the VOD of this race and watch that Coldster fight. That was fantastic. So any last thoughts from either of you before we let you go here? We have another race coming up on this channel about 5:30 Eastern. So any other thoughts?
Not from my side. Just thanks for the commentary and tracking and restream and everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys on Wednesday again, I guess.
Indeed. We will definitely be happy to have it for the next race. We're looking forward to the next race as always. Always good to have more randos. I'm glad to have the second series to work with here. And we look forward to seeing how the next race turns out. Obviously, the next race can go the other way, and we could end up having a third game out of this. So good luck to both of you in the next race. Reminder to follow both of the runners. Their Twitch channels, for those of you watching on YouTube, are Gem041 and Eriror PS. Just go twitch.tv, follow by either of those names. You can catch both of them in action live on their stream. You can chat with them, hang out with them, thank them for the great racing they're putting on here. You can also follow our tracker, who on the German channel today was Raylan_Tanker. That's who was doing our tracking today. Thank you for that, Raylan. And also follow my co-commentator, Wolfie Dragon 1990.
Yeah, and of course follow cycling as well, because why not? I don't know. Do you play a lot? Do you stream a lot?
I've done a couple streams. I'm going to get into streaming. I don't want to talk too much about my own plans. I plan to try and get into doing Mario Maker 2 when it comes out, but I haven't been streaming a lot lately. I do plan to, though. So if you do want to follow me, go ahead. I'll be happy to have you with me. But again, whatever interests you, each person, each viewer is what will cause them to follow certain people, and I don't mind either way. So it's always good to follow commentators. It's also more important to follow the runners. The runners are the people putting on the show, and they're the ones that really deserve support more than we do, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. I'm totally on point with you on that.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I want to wish everyone who was watching chat a wonderful afternoon. Those of you watching, by the way, live, on this channel later, you're going to see some Star Wars Episode 1 Racer going on. That's the event coming up at 5:30. There's also some Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo action immediately following that at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. There are some other events scheduled that are not scheduled for channels yet after that time. I think that's still being worked on, but there is some more Link to the Past at 9 o'clock standard daily race, and Super Mario Brother 3 Warpless Tournament, or Super Mario Brother 1, sorry, Super Mario Brothers Warpless Tournament action going on. A couple races tonight at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, so stay tuned for all of that action today as well. And for those of you watching on YouTube, those events are on different playlists. Following on this playlist will be Game 2, possibly the final game in this tournament. Maybe not. Maybe we'll have a Game 3. Stay tuned and find out. So for everyone here, everyone at Speed Gaming, thank you for putting on the tournament here as well. I want to wish you all a wonderful afternoon. I'm Cyclone or Cyclone GU. For those of you in Germany or Europe, have a wonderful evening. And may not all your seeds be pet seeds. Wolfie, you get the final word.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to watch both of our runners. It was a pleasure to commentate with you. And yeah, same for me. Good night, have a nice day, and see you later.